Well, there sure is a lot of controversy about miner's moss versus plastic and rubber matting. And this is usually paired with felt underneath it, and it will have the riffles above it, the metal riffles above it. So it's a three layer system with an indicator mat at the very beginning of the sluice. So boy, that sure is hard to beat. In my experience, look at the almost infinite seemingly number of drop zones that this miner's moss has. And then underneath it, the felt is allowing the water pressure to always have a constant push down effect. And then above this, you got the sluice, the riffles with the agitation effect. And then you got 3 feet of this, or yeah, about 3 feet. That's really hard to beat, in my opinion. I don't care if you're doing glacial gold or whatever. And then the other controversy is classification. Look, I've done so many buckets, guys. I've been doing this for 10 years. And I can tell you, 2-inch and below is ideal because it maximizes your effort and the classification effect. Okay, the classification effect is just the effect of getting more gold for the effort of classifying. So basically, I use a milk carton. I don't think it's really used for milk, but you've seen them before behind Dollar General and such. They're very hard plastic. And I'll usually just shake the material down there at the side of the hole that I'm digging, and then I'll move that material to the sluice, whether it's in the river or high banking. So 2-inch and below, guys. That way you'll never miss a nice big flat flake that's the size of a quarter, over an inch or so, like my biggest piece ever. It would really suck if I had missed that piece. And that really made the whole hobby and effort part of being worth it, finding a piece the size of a quarter. Even though it was only 3 grams, it was the size that is why it was missed, clearly. So there's just these things about irregular shaped gold that they missed being really flat or foil-like or perfectly round. This is the stuff that's really out there that you can repeatedly get if you're like a freak of nature and want to purify everything and never miss anything. And then there's the black sands that you get with these mats. And I put those in a bag every time I pan out at the site. And then they aggregate, and then I get to play with those later. And I always get another gram or 2 out of that. It's a lifesaver. So there's just a lot of reasons to use miner's moss and to classify to about 2 inches. And then the next secret is to use more scale, right? If you got a really good purifying setup, then you just want to blast as much through it as you can. So this sluice flare is huge compared to anything I've ever seen. I built it from an old speed limit sign that came with a sale that we got. It's very rigid. There's reasons these are on the inside and not the outside. I wish they were on the outside, but it's a prototype. And this fits right into my sluice right here. And I can go to one of the hardest running spots of the river and put this in it and dump full buckets into it. And as long as there's a drop off at the end, it'll take it, So it just allows me to get my hands in there and scrub rocks with my gloves on while there's a torrent of water going through. And I'll put a big rock beside it so I can tip these 100-pound buckets into it. It's like 8 inches, 7 or 8 inches deep. And boy, it's been helpful this year. Okay, well, mostly about miner's moss, scale, and classification, I guess, guys. And then keeping your black sands for later. All right, Wild One's out.